There's no doubt that people in this industry love their horses, and that couldn't be more accurate when it comes to Mick and Gwenda Johnstone and their 10-year-old gelding, Pravro. Mick and Gwenda, tell us about your training operation here at Echuca. How many horses and how many staff have you got here?
We've got 14 horses in work at the moment, and there's 3 staff, and we have a girl that comes in every weekend and helps us go to the races and that. Yeah.
What does a morning generally look like for you?
We get up at 5 and Danny by 5:30. We're daylight hours here. We're not allowed on the track till daylight. So we've got a treadmill and we've got a 6-horse jogger. So we do all them before we actually start working the horses.
And how many track riders have you got, Nick?
There's just myself and Rose. Me and Rose go ride from the stable over to the track, around the track and come back. Gwenda does all the groundwork. When we get back, we take the saddles off and Gwenda cleans them up, puts them on the walker and gets them. By the time we come back on the next lot, Gwenda gets the first lot off. Yeah.
Pravro is a horse that is basically part of the furniture here now as a 10-year-old, but his arrival came as somewhat as a surprise at the time.
His mother bowed a tendon in her last run when she ran second at Caulfield, and then she was semi-retired, went to stud at Darley, and they served her 2 years in a row and she didn't get involved. And then the 3rd year she was negative, so they served her one more time with Long Row and it was negative, so they come back to work here, got back here in January. So we put her back into work and every month we'd get her tendon scanned just to see how it was going. And in June, she wasn't losing weight, getting fit. And so when I took him over to Jim Bazies, took her over, Gwenda said, get Jim to check to see if there's anything in there. And Jim put his hand in there and patted Pravro on the head. So quickly retired.
What is Pravro like to train and have around the stables? I'm assuming you know him pretty well by now.
Yeah, like he's good to train. He gets a bit grumpy, he's set in his ways, and it's like he's got a bubble around him and he doesn't like any horses anywhere near him. Yeah, he's got a bit of character about him.
He's got a routine, so he's the first one done, and yeah, if you get out of that routine, that's sort of a bit of a grumpy bump.
In terms of career highlights, winning the race named after one of your best horses, Shadowways, here at Echuca 4 times, 3 of those with Pravro, that must be right up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is. And the last time we won, we got him ready for Rose, and it worked out, and it played off, and yeah, she won on him.
I would imagine it does take a fair bit of planning. It's obviously once a year race, and you pull it off 4 times. A lot of planning goes into that.
Yeah, it does. Like you just like with him, you give him 2 jump outs before he goes to it, and he's ready to go. He goes very well first up, so that's what we worked on and planned, and it come off several times.
You must obviously get along really well to live and work together so closely every day.
Yeah, we do. It's like everything. You have your little disagreements, but you get on with it. Yeah.
Who's the boss?
Gwenda, of course.
Rose Hammond has been with the stable for a while now. You both must be really proud with how she has commenced her riding career.
Yeah, just I remember teaching Rose, riding around the paddock out here on a long lunging lead, teaching her how to ride a racehorse and going around the track for the first time with her. But she's full of confidence and willing to do anything for it.
Rose, tell us about how you got started here working for Mick and Gwenda.
Well, I always loved horses and did show jumping and all that before this, but it was a family friend of ours that they owned a couple horses here and they gave me the number and that, so I called up and come in one morning before school to meet them, and yeah, I never left.
What have Mick and Gwenda done for your career as a jockey?
Oh yeah, they've been a massive role in my career. Like Mick said, he taught me how to ride track work on the racehorses. It's very different to show jumping and all that, and Gwenda with like all her ground knowledge, and they're just great. They give me every opportunity and put me on nearly everything that we race, so yeah, it's good they have that trust with me, but yeah, they give me a lot of opportunity. I'm very grateful for that.
Have you got any stable favourites?
Yeah, a couple. Pravro is definitely one of my favourites. when I rode my first double here at Echuca, he was one of them.
What does a horse like Pravro mean to your stable? You've had him from day dot, you've trained his mother, he's a 10-year-old now and still feeling as fresh as ever. What does he mean to the stable?
Oh, he means a lot. Like when a couple of years ago when we were going for a stage where we had a few horses retire and waiting for the young ones to come up, he was always there. You know, you could take him to Melbourne and he'll run, loved Moonee Valley, loves Swan Hill, loves Echuca. He doesn't like a lot of tracks, but they're the ones he loves to race on.
And his pattern of racing, he just has a lot of bad luck too, because he's one that gets back and gets home, and he's got to get through traffic in a race, and sometimes it's disaster sometimes. Anyway, that's just how it is.
That wraps up another edition of Country Heartbeat. We hope you enjoyed, and we look forward to bringing you another episode soon.